Welcome back to A Deacon's Life, Deacon Thomas Shad. Today's video is kind of an interview with, her name is Anna, a friend of the family's. She converted to the Catholic faith, and this is her journey. I hope you enjoy. Tell us about your journey to the Catholic faith.
Okay, so I first got interested in the Catholic Church in probably 10th grade, maybe. It was when all of my friends were in like their youth groups and their after-school Catholic activities, and I grew up first Baptist, and then we joined the Episcopal Church and then the Anglican Church, so I really moved around a lot growing up, and watching all of my friends have like this vibrant community life with their church was just something that I was like, man, I really want that. I really want to be a part of something like that. My first instinct when I thought that I wanted to be Catholic was that I needed to hide it from my parents, which I don't know where that came from, but you know, my dad and I have talked about it since then, and now we were just like, why did I think that I needed to hide something like that? But so I was talking to all my friends about it, and one of my friends gave me Father Mike Schmitz's email, which was like before he was famous and all, you know, internet crazy. But so I sent Father Mike Schmitz an email and I said, I'm interested in becoming Catholic, but like none of my family is. I'd be the first one in my family to be Catholic. And he actually told me, he was like, you know what, you might as well just wait. Like wait until you've moved out of your house, wait until like you're sure that this is something you want, like for the rest of your life. So I was like, okay, awesome, we'll just figure it out when like I turn 18 or when I move out of my house. And then that actually turned out to be perfect because the next year we left Minnesota, and so I would have had to like just enter a church community and then leave it right away. So it was kind of the Lord looking out for me and making sure that I didn't make any snap decisions. So after moving to South Bend, my family actually started our own church because we couldn't find an Anglican church in the area that actually worked for us or that we actually enjoyed, or had a good community with. So we started our own church, which was super hard. It was very small. There was maybe like 2 other families, and so it was really hard to be a part of. We didn't have a priest, so you couldn't have communion, and so it was just a very hard, like, lonely church life that was going on. And then I went to the Holy Thursday Mass at the Basilica at Notre Dame, which is gorgeous, like just absolutely insane. And it kind of like refreshed my memory that like, oh yeah, I wanted to do this like 2 years ago. How come I haven't like looked into that anymore? So after Holy Thursday, I talked to my parents. I started going to St. Pius, which is the biggest church in South Bend, because I wanted to kind of like be a little bit invisible, but just kind of figure out things my own way. And after that, I think it was the next August, I joined the RCIA program, and yeah, a year later, I mean, I actually was supposed to be confirmed right in the middle of COVID, so I was confirmed at Pentecost instead of Easter, which was kind of fun, like the whole confirmation and filling you with the Holy Spirit right in the middle of Pentecost was kind of fitting. Yeah, but I've really found that it's like I reached a point growing up with the People of Praise that I kind of started to get as much out of the People of Praise as I could, and I'm really glad that now that I'm in the Catholic Church, I'm still getting things, like I'm still learning things that I didn't think I still had room to learn, which is really good. That's one of the things about the Catholic Church that I've really enjoyed, that just there's always ways that you can grow and ways that you can learn new things about your faith, and especially being a new Catholic, I'm constantly learning new things, so yeah.
So what was your RCIA program like?
Yeah, so it was actually, the RCIA director, it has like a master's in theology, so he was like actually it might even be a PhD. Yeah, I think it's a PhD in theology, so he's like way overqualified to be teaching just like a normal RCIA program. But I was, so doing it like by myself, just me and my sponsor, was super good for me because everything church-wise I've always done with my family. So it's been like my family and we're all doing it together and we're figuring out our own things, but doing it just like by myself and taking control of my own, like, this is my faith journey. I can ask the questions that I need answered instead of just following along with whatever my family did, was super good. And my sponsor was also, her husband is now also getting his PhD in theology. So it was a very, like, I was overloaded with information that I had, like, I could ask anything I wanted and get several book recommendations about answers to it. So it was a super solid RCIA program. It started August and then we kind of shut it down when COVID hit. So we didn't get to do like the after confirmation stuff that my brother the next year did. So that was kind of a bummer. But
wait, your brother what?
Oh, my brother also joined the same church that I am in. So he got engaged to his wife, or his now wife, who is Catholic. And so he did the same RCIA program literally 1 year later. So I went through it, COVID hit, it kind of stopped, and then literally the next year Dietrich went through it. And that was awesome. He had like the same experience of just like having so much information and so many people who were like, they liked when you asked questions and they had answers to them, and not only just like a straightforward answer, but also like if that doesn't work for you, here's 17 books that you could read that will answer the question further. So yeah, it was very thorough, lots of information, and I also got to know the priest, Father Bill, really well, and he's absolutely iconic. So yeah.
Well, sounds like it was a good experience.
Oh yeah, it was a really good experience. Yeah.
What sacraments did you receive then?
Yeah, so I was baptized I grew up Baptist, so we weren't baptized as infants, but as soon as we joined the Episcopal Church, all 5 of us kids were baptized the same Sunday, which was super exciting, and just so like, everyone needs to be baptized. Get it done, you know? So I was baptized when I was about 11, so that I didn't get, but I got First Communion and Confirmation on Pentecost Saturday.
And how long ago?
Last year.
Last year?
Yeah, so it's, yeah.
You got a confession then?
Oh yeah, I've gone to confession all the time. I love confession,
okay.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So your brothers joined,
Mm-hmm.
he followed you.
Yep.
Or his wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so how is your family with you and Dietrich now Catholic?
Oh, they're so supportive.
Okay.
They really, my dad is, I think it's partly because of how much exploring we did growing up, of just trying to find what was the right fit, what we believed, and then figuring out which church worked for you and what you believe. And so they've always been super supportive of Dietrich becoming Catholic, me becoming Catholic, doing exactly what we need to do to and I was telling them about how I wanted to have a church that I could still grow in and that I could still better myself and improve my relationship with the Lord through a church. And they were like, yeah, if you feel like the Catholic Church is going to do that for you, awesome, go do it. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So was there any big hang up with the church teaching it all that kind of went, well, wait, maybe not?
I actually don't think so. I think it's partly because I was so excited about it from 10th grade. So I read the entire catechism in 10th grade. When I was thinking about it, I was like, we need to do this now. But so I'd gone through all of the stuff. My dad read it in 10th grade when I first talked to him about wanting to become Catholic. So he had read the whole thing, and we sat down to coffee and talked about it. So I'd been through it and had conversations about it. So I was really that was nothing I was concerned about. And the community at St. Pius is so good. It's a huge church, so you always are gonna find different groups of people, and they just do a great job of it's God's people. We're all God's children. We all have varying different niche beliefs, but it's all the Catholic Church.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, so if someone came up to you and said, I'm thinking about Catholic, what would you recommend they did?
I would give them I don't remember what the book is called, but it's by Bishop Barron. I think it's just on Catholicism or something like that.
Okay.
I don't remember what it's called, but that was one of the first things that I read, and it just the way that Bishop Barron explains everything. It's just like, it makes so much sense. It's easy to read, which is essential for me because I don't like reading. But it's really easy to read. It just puts things in a language that like, not like if you didn't grow up Catholic, you can still understand what he's talking about. And yeah, it's just a really good like introductory crash course book that I really enjoyed. Yeah.
Thank you, Anna, for your story. That was so great. I thought it was funny when you said, I really don't like to read, but then you say that you read the Catechism. So that's a very thick book. It's an awesome one, but it's a thick one. So thank you again, Anna, for sharing your story. I hope you all enjoyed it. Until next time, God bless you. Keep praying and keep serving.